we're going to sew it. I just decided I wanted to go ahead and do it. And I don't think it's going to take, hours and hours. And I'm just excited about getting it done. So I don't have a design wall here. So what I'm doing is sewing the bottom right to the bottom center. The green here is the center, and this is the bottom right. And I'm just going to start pinning this together, and then we're going to sew these two sections. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. So excited. All right, let's start pinning. It's going to be, there's going to be some pinning to do, so we will just get it going. All right, so that bottom, I have one notch here and one that's not notched, so that point is going to stick up a little bit. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. That one doesn't have a match up, but this one does. And I don't have my snips. That's not going to work. I need my snips. Let me get those real quick. My sewing room is quite small, so it's not too far away. It's more about the wires that I've got going on. Okay. See, this just has a little, if you can see that, it just sticks up a little bit, and I should have snipped that off before, but I didn't. So I'm going to snip that off now. Makes it easier for me to match up. Lots of match-up points. But that's okay, because we're going to get done. I'm really excited. Really, really excited. Oh, I didn't tell y'all what was wrong with my son the other week. Last week. I totally forgot. It just hit me with this dreary day, because it was kind of dreary that other day too. There was a parade, a Christmas parade going on in the little town we're in. And we are very close to the downtown area. So they had completely blocked our neighborhood from getting out, from leaving the area. So I got him out. I had to go get him out. All right, there's a lot of little pieces here that are matching up with some large areas. These two pieces are not meant to match, so don't worry about those. It's not that one, it's this one way over here. So I'm going to pin this and then put another pin in between here. It's opening up a little bit. We'll see about that. Okay. Put a pin in it. What are your holiday movies that you watch? Are you a holiday movie watcher? What are your must-sees? I don't really have too many that I have to see. I love Family Stone, but I cry. So I tend, he's like, do you want to watch Family Stone? I don't want to cry tonight. Is that horrible? I love it though. I love that movie. But I always cry. I guess because I'm a mom, right? And I know how that would be. We've got a little match up here. That's quite gapey, so we'll see how that goes. I am going to pin that in the best way I can. Oh, we're almost done pinning. Oh, how fun. I'm so glad I decided to do this. Y'all probably knew I was going to do this. I just had to. I just want to be done. You get the sections done and you're like, why not? Let's just get it done and see it in all of its glory, though I won't be able to show you because I won't be able to hold it nice and wide for you, but I'll do the best I can when I'm done. All right. The first section. And I've also decided, because I said I wasn't going to iron, I do think I'm going to iron. I'll just kind of cut my ironing part out of the video and iron it nice and neat before I move on to the next the top section because I'm working on the bottom. I started with the bottom first. And you know how I decided that? That was the last one I sewed. Was that bottom, the bottom right or bottom left? Can't remember. And so I said, all right, well, we're sewing the bottom. And look at this. We are sewing 2 sections together. Just like that. Just like that. This is a Merry Christmas to me. How fun was it to finish at Christmas? Oh my gosh. I'm gonna get my glove on. Having a hard time gripping. Oh, that's better. Oops. And if you're wondering, I am wearing Krista Watson gloves. I really like her gloves. I like the grippies, the grippies that are on them. And yes, I'm wearing it upside down. That's all right. I was struggling. When quilts get kind of heavy, I tend to feel like they're sliding on me. And even though most people wear this when they're quilting, I just wear it on one hand, my left hand, to kind of grip the fabric while I'm sewing it. Boy, I just let my head down pretty hard there, sorry. And I also use it when I'm binding. I use a glove on this hand when I'm binding too. It just helps me maneuver the quilt around a little better. And if this is how quick these sections come together, I obviously need to iron this one a little bit. This is how quickly they come together. We're going to be done with this in no time. A little gapy right here. Smooth that out. Not sure that one's going to be very good. We may have to redo that point. We'll see. And just like that, 2 sections are together. How fun! Oh my gosh! I'm so glad I did this. I'm so glad I did this. And I think that's what Diana was she was just so excited to be getting it together and complete. You are not going to see this. This is going to be too big. But I'll try to show y'all just like the center. And I want to see that one piece. You know what? That looks beautiful. That's where it kind of messed up at. And it did gorgeous. Oh, absolutely stunning. I am thrilled. Thrilled. And I'm going to look at it. Is that how it's supposed to look? Yes, it is. That's how it's supposed to look. Oh my goodness. Okay. There is 1/2 of the bottom. Can you see it? 1/2 of the bottom there. All right. Let's get the other piece and we're going to sew the other side down. I'm going to leave this right here. Let me grab the right side. Yes. The bottom left. Excuse me, the bottom left. We did the bottom right and the bottom center. This is the bottom left. Here we go. All right, so the pretty blues. All right. I'm going to do this first. All right, lay that out. And then this top piece goes like this. If you have a design wall, I'm sure it's a lot easier for you. I may have to lay this out to make sure I'm doing it right. It goes right there and connects with those two pieces, and I will finger that open all the way out. And there we go. To that end right there. Perfect. Okay, let's start. I'm going to start with this end, matching that part up. Now we know where this is going to land. Always do that first. Perfect. Ooh. So exciting. So exciting. It's hard for me to even talk. I'm so excited. I can't believe this is going to come together today. Oh my gosh. These dark pieces are hard to see. Whew. Sure, that's hard for you to see too. Let me turn it just a little bit so you can see better over here. Yeah, that's a little better. Sorry it wasn't completely in your view. Just trim some of the threads that get in the way. All right, now we're into the lots of pinning part. I knew we would just be sitting here, pinning, 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 sewing, sewing, sewing. Got that one done. It's like you've got a slant, you've got a cross section, you've got a slant, got a cross section. This is a slant. This is a slant, so we got two in a row here. There's a lot of seams that come together right there, though. Lots and lots. We're almost at the end. The pinning is not that bad. And I think even doing the middle section, the pinning's not going to be that bad. It's just going to be heavy and bulky. And I'm going to have to move that little iron, I think. Luckily, I've got this table next to me that it can kind of keep some of the weight. I just finished an almost queen size t-shirt quilt that was super huge. So this one's not going to be as heavy as that. All right. Here, I didn't iron this seam. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just kind of finger press it a little bit. Get my stiletto. Just open that up so that I know where to match it. And I am going to trim that little tip off. So that notch just goes right there on it. Oh, that's so perfect. So perfect. Okay, time to sew. Let me get this set up. I don't want to pin myself too much. Whoops, no, no, no. You have to all come together. Okay, that looks great. Get my glove on. All nice and straightened out and ready to sew. Raining, raining, raining. Who wants to go to work today anyway? Okay. There we go, kind of fix ourselves again. We've gotten a pretty good way into this row, so we've got to kind of reconfigure a little bit. Some more bulk going through. Are you ready to sew the pillow? Super excited. Really excited. Okay. This one is a little wonky. It looks fine between this one and this one, but this is not really going to match up. And you know what? I would rather the fabric look really nice and clean and neat and the seam not work than it be bulky, the seam match perfectly, and then you have all this bulge on either side. I would rather have a clean seam. And we'll see how it does. Sometimes I've pinned it wrong, and it's actually a more natural path for it to be anyway. All right, we'll just see how that does. This is 1/2 done, just like that. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm going to take a sneak peek at those seams right here. Beautiful seam, beautiful seam, beautiful seam, beautiful seam, beautiful seam. I must have had it pinned in the wrong place because they all match up perfectly. And sometimes that's how it goes. Okay, I'm going to iron this out. I'll show you what it looks like. So I'll turn the camera around and do like, here's the 1/2. And then we're going to get started on the next half. Oh my gosh, we're going to do this. All right, let's get going. Hey, all right, we're done with the bottom. I can't get back far enough, I know. And this thing is huge. But this is the bottom of the quilt, all the way from the blues to the green to the yellows. All right, so let's get started on the top, and then we're going to get this done today. Woohoo! Okay, grab your tops. Okay, we are on the top. We're PC'd. We've only had 2 more. So this section, another section, and then we're done sewing the sections, and we just sew the 2 halves together. All right, so I don't have a design wall, so I can't show y'all how I'm doing this. You're going to have to follow the book. Make sure that you're putting the right pieces together the right way. Take your time. I had to... I almost did it wrong because I was holding the red the wrong way. So it was kind of easy with the bottom because the little points faced up. So remember, with the top, you've got to turn it over so the point is facing down. That center point. Start with the center and then put the pieces around it, and it'll be a lot easier. All right, so I've started off that the pinning, and we're just going to keep pinning just like we did with the other one, and we are going to be done in no time. And really, I'm going to do this. We're going to go sew all of it. We're going to be done. I hope whenever you're starting to piece your sections together, you do it on a day where you can make a decision like that. I know we always can't. You'll have to put it down. Maybe you work and you sew 1/2 one night, because it doesn't take very long. Pinning and ironing takes longer than the sewing. And sometimes what I do, when I'm doing a large project like this, I'll pin it the night before. So I have actually, after I get through filming this, since I've decided to make it a sew day, I a couple nights ago when I was working on a project, I pinned it, and this is one of those. Yeah, we'll see. I pinned it after I did like 4 or 5 hours of sewing. I was like, I'm so exhausted. But I decided that I was going to go ahead and pin. That looks really far away. I think just none of those for that whole block, none of them match up really. Okay, so I'm going to pin this one, the one that does match, and then I'm going to go back and put some pins to hold those together because I don't want it to get wonky while it's sewing. I pinned probably, that's why I don't have very many pins here, and I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to have enough for the middle part. We'll see. I pinned probably 11 rows together. So when I start sewing, I knew when I could sew the next, then I could easily and very quickly get those rows sewn and move on. This weekend I've got another project to finish, not just this one. Ah, life of a shop owner, right? Never a dull moment. Oh, it's fun. I wouldn't do anything else. I really do love it. If out of all the things like I could be doing, I can't think of another one that I would do rather than this. I love working with all of y'all. I mean, how else could you know, basically, I don't get paid to sew, but you know, your livelihood depends on your sewing. How fun is that, right? It's super fun, and I get to try new projects, and it's kind of cool. Step outside my comfort zone. I think for that, it's amazing. All right, where's my glove? Let's get my glove on. Makes all the difference. I hope you have one. I don't have any in stock right now. I need to get some. All right, I already feel it pulling just a little bit, so we're going to Sorry, I'm not chatty, huh? I'm just concentrating. I'm not used to talking the whole time while I sew. I'm used to listening to a book. I don't listen to podcasts too much, but I do like to listen to books. Every now and then I'll do music. If I know I'm not going to be sewing for very long and I need some energy. But usually, especially when it's sewing that's, you know, like your chain stitching and stuff like that, a book, I can get into the book and just keep going. This is one of those intersections that just isn't matching up, but it worked for me last time, so I'm hoping it'll work for me this time. And I am not pushing it through, I'm just kind of guiding it. I don't push at all. I just keep it from, because it tends to want to gravitate that way. I just keep it from going that way. Going slower over some of these. And yeah, that was a little bit bigger. So I'm just absorbing it into the seam allowance. We'll see how that goes. Sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. I want that in there nice and neat. And just like that, we only have one more section to sew. And then we have the 2 halves and it's done. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. All right. So what I'm going to do, I know that it's going to match up because this is that point right in the center. I'm not looking forward to that point when we do the halvesies. Okay, so there is that point. It's not looking too much like a point. See, there we go. And we are going to sew the other part on to this edge right here. So I'm going to pull all this off. And what I wanted to do, because that point, it is where they match up. So I'm going to go ahead and finger press this seam right here, because that's where it kind of goes together. So I want to make sure that's nice and open like that. Okay. Now we are ready. Now when we get the other piece and we're going to match them together, you're not going to go on this side. Remember, the red is the center. So that is something to keep in mind. Here's my piece. Here's the point, right? It goes like this on here, like that. So we need to flip this over. We've got a lot going on here. This is where these grips are gripping a little too much, and I can't do the fabrics like I want them to. They're not doing what I want. Oh, I totally have this wrong. It's got to flip this way. That's why it's not doing. I'm not flipping it. Flip it. Flip it. There we go. That's better. Now we're cooking with gas. Okay. Yes, I'm a gas cooker. I don't like the electric. I actually won't buy a house if it has an electric. Isn't that weird? It's all what you're used to, I think. I've never had electric. I've always had gas. So to cook on an electric stove is awkward and weird, and I don't like it. Oh, I love all our little idiosyncrasies. I can't say the word. You know what I mean. All right. And here we go. There is this, like that. And we're just going to pin. And when you're holding it, you're like, how is this going to come together? It doesn't look like it will, but it does. And it looks amazing. It looks absolutely amazing. And I'm going to be honest with you, and maybe some of you who have already, well, if you've already done, you're probably not watching the videos anymore, but the pictures, none of the pictures do it justice. None. Absolutely none. None of them do it justice. It looks more stunning in person than any picture you could ever see. That's what I love about quilts. They're just, well, I mean, I wish that you could see the beauty in pictures, but it's just like nature too, right? You see these gorgeous pictures of nature, but when you actually go to that point, you're like, that picture was like a black and white color version, a black and white version of it. It's so much more beautiful. And I started thinking as I was going through that, we did a family trip. Maybe I mentioned it. I don't know. I sit here and just talk. But we went to Yellowstone, and I went to the Painter's Point, right, where the waterfall is and everything. Oh my gosh, I have seen beautiful pictures of that, but I'm going to tell you, it's those pictures, It's like a really, really crappy version of what it looks like in person. If you can ever go, you need to go, because that is a beautiful, beautiful spot. Not the most awe-inspiring, I'm going to say, but it is a beautiful spot. I also liked McDowell Lake. That was incredibly gorgeous, especially at sunset. That didn't happen till almost 10 p.m. When we went in July. That was in Glacier National Park. And we did the Going to the Sun Road, and we stayed on a mountain close to Denver. We have family in Denver. And we were up in the mountain and watching all the casinos shoot off their fireworks because we were there for 4th of July. Oh my gosh, this is many years ago. Many, many years ago. Probably I'm going to say 10 to 11 years ago when we did this. I saved for this big, long family trip. And we took it was a month, a little over a month. It was a trip that took us a little over a month. My husband took off work, and we knew it would be our last family trip, and it was. We never did a family trip all together again. That was the very last one. So what a way to go off. Whoops, sorry, I'm moving a little bit. What a way to go off with a bang. My chair is kind of uncomfortable. I gotta position. All right, there, that's better. Kind of was turned to the side in it. All right. And all that jabbering, we are done putting all the sections together. All right, let's sew it and be done. Oh, I told my husband that I was going to finish today, and he laughed. He's like, there's no way. I'm going to prove him wrong. I'm going to prove him wrong. It likes to flip. Don't flip. And that is something I do like about this machine, is that I don't have to raise and lower the foot. It does it automatically. If I want it higher, I'll show you in a second. Like it does like a little lift. You see I can get under there. But if I want it higher, I can raise it higher. And then when I want to go, it just goes. That's what I love about this machine. I know the higher end machines have that. My Juki didn't. I raised and lowered, and I got used to that. But now this spoils me. And when I get on another machine, I just push the foot and go. Guess what? Not much happens. All right, we've got some black going on here that pulled from the fabric back there. Let's see what's going on. I don't want that stuck in my foot. There we go. Thought I heard a car door. I want to finish before he gets home. He gets home probably in about an hour. I don't think it's going to take me an hour. I do have to iron this, so we'll take a break. I'll show you this one, and then we will get started on putting these two halves together. And that's it. We pin the two halves, and that's it. Oh my gosh, guys. One more sew, and we are done with Gravity. So do I get a participation patch and pin too? Do I get one? They are actually coming. They're shipped. They're done with them. I'll have them very soon. Okay, we're done. Let's iron and get these two halves together. All right, I'll meet you back here in just a couple minutes. Hey there. Okay, it's all ironed and we're ready to sew it together. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. A year, 1 year. But it is one of those kind of quilts that, it takes a long time. It's a lot of work, a lot of sewing, and kind of complicated, and you get it done. So I'm excited. Let's sew these halves together. I can't wait another minute. So let's get this done. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. All right, here we go. Okay, so this is going to be interesting. I don't know if I have enough pens. We'll see. We'll see if I have enough pens. So I've got it there. I mean, this is like a point that there's a lot of all coming together points that I just don't think they're going to be the best in the world, but we're going to do what we can. So make sure that you're matching point to point. And you're not doing it upside down or anything, because when you don't have a design wall, you have to kind of think about it just for a second. Okay, so no time like the present. I know. Can you tell I'm excited? I'm so glad I made this decision to just get done, because I think I would have lost sleep going, I should have done that. I should have done that. Sometimes when you don't want, this isn't a big regret. If you didn't do it, you always have time. I'm not talking about those kind of deep regrets that you have your whole life. I'm not talking about that. But every now and then, for one of those little times where you're like, I wish I had just gone ahead and did that then. This is one of those times that I'm going to be glad I said I did. And they're doing fine at work. It's Christmas season is not like it's a Target or a Home Depot or a toy store or something like that. It's kind of slow for us. So out of all the times for me to take off and finish something, this would be one of them. And we are matching yet another seam up with this already loaded point. I don't like the points that all come together in one. I really don't like that, but that's part of this quilt. We'll see how it turns out. Everybody's looks good to me when they finish. That's going to be a little bit of a weird. Okay, that's one of those weird matchups, so I'm going to trust it. And we're just pinning. Do you ever think of Dory when you're thinking that? Just keep pinning. Just keep pinning. All right. Matching up another point. Once we get to the black areas, it'll go. Oh, there's hardly any black areas on this one. It's all the colors coming together. I'm in orange and yellow, and I've been there for a little while now. About to get into green. Oh, good. We have, and this is the center point right here. This is the center. This one is actually not as loaded as that other one was. This is the apex of the center point right here. And I think she might have done like a sew halfway and sew the other halfway, but after trimming those little threads off, this doesn't look that bad. I think I'm just going to go for it. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, now we're in the blues and purples. Halfway matched up, more pinning. It looks like I'm going to have enough pins. I'm super excited about that. And you know why? Because I told you I'd pinned all those rows. That's why I was like, I don't know if I have enough pins for this. Trim some of these threads out of the way. another little thick seam right here. It doesn't seem like it should be thick, but there's 3 seams coming into one. It's got a little tip on it. Trim that off. So I can say for sure, if you get a 100-pin pack, you can pin together several rows of the exploding heart. Well, I do it in quadrants. I don't do a lot of row after row after row. I do it in quadrants. So 1 quadrant of 11 rows and the entire middle of a gravity quilt, and still have some left over. So just so you know, 100-pin pack will do. And I'm sure I've lost some pins every now and then. I'm probably down to 80 or so. Otherwise, why would they ever sell any more pins, right? And I'm not trimming the fabric when I'm trimming here. All I'm doing is trimming excess threads out of the way because they annoy me to no end. And I just like to get rid of them. All right. Oh, this is the last sew for Gravity, the actual quilt. This is the last time, unless you quilt it yourself, which I don't. I will bind it though. But for piecing this together, this is our very last sew. Can you comprehend that? All right, let's see if I can do this without, I said I was going to move that out of the way and I totally forgot. But I'll get my gloves. Or my glove one. Go all the way back to the oranges. Try not to poke yourself too much. Let's get the bulk of this going. It's all crinkled because I had to hold it with a fist to keep it together. Okay, under the needle, let's go. We need some champagne or something. So when we do the pillow, get your libation or not. I know some people don't drink. I think I'm going to have some mimosas going. Okay, come on. Work with me. This is not wanting to work with me too much. There we go. That's better. That's a lot better. Okay. This is that one that I really, yeah, that one was really, really tough. And this one's getting pretty gapey right here. So after doing that, I'm going to let it, seeing it looks pretty. I've done this a couple times where it was doing that and then it ended up being beautiful and matched up perfectly. So I'm going to kind of let the fabric tell me what it needs to do. We are close to our apex right here. Oh no, I have got a thread problem. It started doing something wonky on me, so what I am going to do, trim some of this off and rethread. It looks like it got unthreaded. So let's rethread. Sometimes that happens, right? When it's going through something thick. I mean, because it happened right after it went through that thick area. So, not surprising. Okay. Now that we're rethreaded, I'm going to start a little bit back. And let's try that again. All that crunched up. There we go. All right, we are just about at the halfway part. Here we go. Halfway through. Sorry, I get a little quiet. I'm concentrating. All right, there's a lot going on here. All right, going over the center point. Let's make sure we are kind of got it going here. All right, that's the center. We are over the center. What are we doing here? Some threads poke up. Okay. Okay. Not much further. A little bit. But we are definitely over halfway. Oh my goodness. Right? Oh my goodness. All right, let me just get it situated. That looks better. I think we have some champagne in the fridge. I may have to pop a glass of bubbly and celebrate. I'm just like y'all, you know, I love really beautiful quilts, and this is amazing. Absolutely amazing. I think I kind of sewed over the seam there. There's so much going on, it just grabs it. I may correct that, but I don't know. We'll see. This is the last few inches. Oh my goodness. Here we go. I know I've been quiet. There's a lot to think about as you sewed that, so I'm sorry for the quietness. All right. We just finished sewing Gravity. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. All right, let me look at a couple places. Yeah, that seam I want to look at. Wow. I mean, it's not perfect, but that's pretty damn close. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to iron, and then I will try to show you the quilt that we finished, okay? But I want to iron this and really see how it is going. We are done. This will be the last video, really, besides the live that we do with the pillow. All right, here we go. Let's iron this together. And there it is. I can't even show you. It's so big, but we've got it done. It looks amazing, and I'm really happy. There are a couple points that are a little bit off, but you know what? When you're looking at it from a whole, you're not going to see it, especially once it's long armed. So I'm just thrilled. I keep, and there I did my camera went sideways because it hit it. So beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. It's done. I can't wait to get it long armed. So I probably won't show you like another final of this until January. I can't ask my long armor to do this before January 1st. She's too loaded for Christmas. So it'll be after the new year, but sometime in January we'll do like one of those unfurling videos and that I want all y'all to do, and I do it in a montage and really show you, and hopefully you're encouraged to finish yours. If you haven't finished, I would really love you to be a part of it, or at least a montage of everybody holding their quilts up. That would be really lovely. So, and if you're in the Houston area and you have finished yours, let's get together and show all of our quilts together. I would love to do that. So anyway, that's it. We're done. I will see you again January 1st for the live show. Actually, you'll see me then. I'm doing a live show on Monday. And for the last giveaway, there's no giveaways in January. For the last giveaway this December. And then again, we're going to sew on January 1st. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Bye.